Hey, beautiful souls. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share this with you. So, I want to challenge you guys to start having a deeper conversation with God. I have a lot of friends who ask me how I like to have or build my communication with God. So, I'm going to share something with you guys. I'm going to share two stories. So, sit back, chill, relax. The first one is for all of you that are here, I'm on the twin flame journey. Hey, and I believe to know who my true twin flame is. And we were having a conversation one day about commitment and our relationship. In the twin flame journey, you go up and down, you have all these upsets and blocks that come up. And ultimately, they're showing you your resistance to love, where you run from love, where you really find yourself feeling or choosing separation, the illusion of separation, and ultimately choosing separation from God. And so I had this conversation with, he's my best friend. He is also the person I believe to be my twin flame. And we were talking about whether or not we were meant to be together. And he said, how about you pray for my wife and I will pray for your husband. And if that is each other, God will show that to us and we have time. And if not, then God will reveal that to us. And I was just like, okay. I actually felt at peace with that. And I'm like, cool, we'll just be praying for ourselves. Awesome. And so I left that conversation. I went into my bedroom and I grabbed my Bible and I just started having a conversation with God. And one of the things I've been really working on is having, like, just going to God anytime I'm feeling any type of way, but also just going to God first thing in the morning. First thing I do when I wake up is thank God for giving me the opportunity to be awake, because not everyone wakes up the next day, and just giving me another chance. And to just live my life purpose and to do what it is that He's brought me here to do. The other thing that I've also been working on is spending my first 20 minutes, or at least the first 20 minutes in the first 2 hours of my day, the first 20 minutes in the first 2 hours, not 2 hours, y'all. But with God and just praying and just really giving gratitude and thanks and just asking Him, like, how does He want me to serve Him? How does He want me to show up? But anyways, so I've learned to have these conversations with God. So I went to my room after having this conversation with my best friend, and I was just like, all right, God, like, you keep giving me signs, you keep moving me forward. Even if I tried to go this way, you keep bringing me back to this person. And it almost makes me feel a little crazy, Lord. So please give me some inkling that I am on the right path and that I need to continue just loving this relationship and investing in it in the way that you need me to, without overgiving in this space. And so one of my favorite things to do is do a flip in the book. This was taught to me by my gurus, my spiritual teachers, Jeff and Shalia Divine. And I always thought it was a beautiful way of just letting God kind of surprise me with communication. And so I prayed on the conversation that him and I had just had, and I was just like, God, just can you reveal to me in my heart what I need to know? And so I did a flip in the book, and God brings me to the book of Song of Solomon. And if you guys haven't read that, like, you need to. I hadn't read it before, but I was just like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And ultimately, it's like the most beautiful ultimate love story in the Bible, other than like Jesus. But like, you get what I'm saying. And Solomon was so devoted and so in love with his wife, and she was the same way, and at their core of their union was God, and they both deeply loved God and went to God for how to love each other and how to just be together. And I just thought it was the most beautiful thing. And so for God to bring me that book, it was really just like this, not directly saying like, hey, this is your husband, but also saying like, hey, I hear you, and like, know that you are on the right path, whether it is with this person or not. And so that brought me a lot of peace, and I just surrendered it. So today I'm sitting here and I'm praying, I'm talking to God, and I'm just thanking Him for my husband. Like, I'm choosing to already see my wish fulfilled. My favorite verse is Hebrews 11:1, and it's faith in being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you do not see. And I love this because it always reminds me, just have faith even though you can't see it. Like, God's doing things. And so I prayed for my husband like I do every day, And I was just telling God, like, I pray that he had a beautiful day and that he is coming to you for anything that maybe he's having like mental conflicts with, anything that he's moving through, whether it's addictions or just things with family. Like, I'm just spending time praying over my husband, even though God has yet to like truly be like, hey, yeah, this for sure person is your husband. But I'm gonna pray for him anyways because I love him, so I'm going to. And I go to do a flip in my Bible, and God brings me to Ruth chapter 4, where Boaz redeems Ruth and he buys the land from his cousin so that he can marry Ruth. And God was ultimately saying, like, because I had this conversation with God where I was like, dude, I surrender. God, I talked to God like he's my best friend. I'm like, dude, I surrender. It's yours. It's yours. I'm done. I'm just gonna sit here and do my thing and be with you. I'm done. I don't want to like do anything besides just relax and receive. And I'm just gonna trust that you're gonna bring my husband to me. Okay, like I don't have to do anything. I can just be me and chill and just enjoy you, God, and you're just gonna bring him. And that's what I said to God prior to opening my Bible. And God was like, yes, your husband is going to take action. He will come to you. But you do have to still like surrender. You still have to do your inner work. You still have to trust. You still have to have faith. You still have to come to me in these moments of doubts or fears, or just continue coming to me even when you do have the thing that you want. And so that was something that I was practicing, was like praying as if I already have it, so that I know when I do have it, I'm going to be continue doing the same habit of praying for it as if I already have it, because now I have it. Does that make sense? Because we tend to do this thing where we get the thing that we want and then that's it. We're like, all right, thanks God. Or maybe not even say thanks God. I was totally guilty of that for a minute, where I would get something that I wanted and then like a day or two later I'm like, oh my gosh, God gave me the thing that I wanted, thank you, instead of recognizing it and then going straight into, wow, like you just fulfilled something for me right in this moment. And so it's that presence, that awareness, that true connection with God, where you're always on alignment with him and you're seeing what he's doing. And lately I've been seeing him like making moves in places that I was just like, all right, God, like I'll see you, okay? So I challenge you to start asking God questions and really start surrendering things to him, and then let him communicate with you. And he's going to show you and tell you like, yes, this is for you, or yes, you're headed in the right direction. But he is going to communicate with you to let you know, because it's not a one-way street with God. It's not like just this one-way conversation and you're just talking into the ethers and you think that he's hearing you. No, God is fully here, just like you and I are. He's going to communicate to you, whether it's through music, whether it's through verses, whether it's through people. Even today, I was just like in my vibe, and I get in my car and I have a song already playing, and then the next song that comes on is My Girl. And I was like, yeah, that's such a, like, I love this, like God's romancing me. And then I get where I need to. I'm there for like an hour. I get back in my car. I go to a different playlist, hit shuffle. Then I go back to my main playlist, which has over 1,200 songs. And I ask God, will you communicate with me? Like, tell me what you want me to know. And I would also love a song from my husband too. That would be great. Like my husband's higher self. Like, what would he want me to know? I hit shuffle and God takes me right back to My Girl. I was like, really? Out of 1,296 songs, you're going to take me back to the same one that I just heard earlier? God's like, you didn't hear it. Like, that's why I'm bringing it back to you. Like, you didn't hear it. This is why. So I was just really loved by it. But God is going to communicate with you in ways that you can't even imagine. It is so amazing. And it really just feels like I've come to like realize like he's with me in every moment. I'm only ever having a relationship with God. I'm only like, conversations with God never stops. And the more that you do it, the more that you will see things just like start to just like that. It's insane. And I love it. I love it. Like God just loves me and romances me, and I love God. And I just like, I don't know even how to explain it, because me now, if I were to have told myself this 5 years ago, I would have been like, you're on crack. Like what? Because I had a really rough like time, and I was having a really hard time trusting and believing in God. So if you are triggered by this video, you have some healing to do. It's totally cool. It's all right. Like I was there. But I promise you, life does get better when you choose to put God at the center of it, when you put him first, when you really choose to build that relationship with God in every area of your life and harmonize. And when you really just start kind of asking him, like, what do I do next? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? There was a time where I was trying to do work without God. I sat here and I was going to do something, and I was meant to look up a time for a show that was going to be performing. I have my twin flame had a show, and I wanted to watch it, and I almost missed it because I was just going to sit here and do work, but I had this block, and I was like, God, what's going on? Like, why am I not, what's going on here? And he brought me this image that I needed to check the time of the show. So I was like, oh, that's right. Let me go check the time real quick before I get to work. And as I check it, it's literally the time the show is starting. So I was like, oh my gosh, if I would have just done my thing and not checked in with God, I would have missed his show, and I would have been so mad. And so things like that, like God will always make sure you need to be where you need to be, that you're doing what you need to be doing, you're in the right place at the right time. Like, just surrender yourself to him. It's just like, just miracles after miracles. I just love God. I love it. I love him. Anyways, that is me. I hope you guys receive something from it. All right. Peace, love, and faith. I love you guys.